Cleaning out boiler tubes today. Hi guys, my name's John. Welcome back to Frickin' Jeep. I've had a exciting day today. You're kind of on my selfie stick. Anyhow, went down to PT and had a good time down there and talked a lot, jabbered a lot, talked people's ears off down there. Then I saw an old friend, kind of ran into him looking for something, and knew him back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Probably hadn't seen him since then, and probably chatted with him for about an hour, and a really nice time. And then I went up to my local Food Lion store in town. Has some really good employees, and talked to a young gentleman there. Now, if he sits there and goes on there, I gave him one of my YouTube things. Maybe he'll stop in and say hi tonight. I don't know. I should have got his name, but even if I gotten his name, I'm so senile I would have forgot it anyway. Real nice gentleman, kid, and it just talking with the youth sometimes is pretty fun. Anyhow, what we got to do today is we got to clean the boiler. So I took the wood off. That takes about a minute. I took the big, I don't know what you call it, that piece there off of where the tubes are. The tubes are gluty, and it's about you can say I started a few minutes ago. I still got some setup stuff to do. I got to get the vacuum cleaner. If you have a boiler, I recommend looking on Facebook and get an old industrial vacuum. So that's what I'll do. It's basically out. It's easier to clean or faster to clean most of the time if you don't have any coals in there. What temperature are we down to? We're down to 130 degrees. So that's not too bad. It's still enough. The house is warm. It's still heating it. Your house isn't at 130 degrees, so that's all right. So if you open this up, we're going to get up here. Some of you guys have been through this before. You can't really see too much in here because it gets kind of dark. But see all this? Those are not supposed to be like that. Let's see if I don't have anything handy. Let me get a stick and handy and get the vacuum cleaner going. If it's real, when I'm burning crappy wood, you get a lot of fly ash. Okay, and I'm burning crappy wood. So that's what it is. Now you want to clean the top tubes. I think there's 60, 30, and 30. I don't know. You guys can count them. There they are. Anyhow, you want to clean the top ones first, because as the heat's coming out here, which it is nice and warm, you stay warm. It's like 29 degrees out here right now. If you clean these first, more heat comes out of here than that can take, and you get smoked on. So anyhow, I got to get the vacuum cleaner and get a few things together, get some mittens on, get a respirator on, and I'll try to bring you back for another minute or two of what it takes to clean the tubes. Now, if you recall, if most of you people that watch here watch Dan up at Back 40 Firewood, I think on today's video up there, he was cleaning his, what do they call it, a return tube, his bypass filter or something like that. I don't know what he calls it up on that. He's got a real nice new boiler. This thing's old, homemade, that kind of stuff. But what he's cleaned out in his is the same thing that this is. This is what they call a return tube boiler. So the fire is down here, and it goes up through the back, and then it comes through the bottom set of tubes to the front, then goes up and goes back into the breech. So that gives you an idea, if you're new on boilers, how this works. And I got 4 different zones on here, 4 big pumps, and I'm heating. I'm heating the greenhouse, heating the garage, heating the house, heating all sorts of goofy stuff. So we'll be back in a little bit when I get more of my junk together. Be back in a bit. Well, like I said, it's going to be hard for you guys. I did these 2, but I can't hold the camera up here, and I don't have a tripod that's 10 feet tall to get up here so you can see how I do it. But I have a couple tools here. This is one I made, and that's one that I bought. But the first thing I do is vacuum out the tubes, try to keep as much soot from pushing back and going into the breech, so I don't have to clean that out. So I suck these out, and then but I'll bring you back when it's done. I just don't see how I can get a camera up here so you can see how I'll do it. I might put it down on a tripod and you just kind of watch and see the procedure. But to work the camera, I can't put the mask on, and you can't hear me, and it's like if I put the mask on, you won't be able to hear me, be muffled and be distorted anyway. And then I got to put a respirator, that's the respirator. Then I put gloves on, I can't work the camera, so it's difficult. So we'll be back in a second. Well, you guys might be able to catch a minute of it, but it's so glary with the light here and the sun catching it. If I can get my hand in the, then it Can't stand here with my hand there. You are perched in a place where it's not very good. So first you got to run the vacuum cleaner, clean the tubes out. So you won't be able to hear me once I do that. And you really can't see, I don't think. I'm trying to stay back. But it's basically I got to do that 60 times, which, and without mittens on, my hands are black. Let me get this out of here, see if you're still there. Well, that's what it takes, but you got to do it 60 times. And at the end of the 60 times, let me tell you, you're wore out. So that's the one I just did. Yeah, your hands get real black because it gets soot on there when you run a rod in. That's why I wear gloves most of the time. And also run a respirator. But I do, the reason I'm doing this, I don't know if I said, they got a real cold snap coming down here again. And when you have the tubes like this or like this, there's probably a ½ inch insulation all the way around there, because you can see the size of this compared to that. You lose all your heat transfer. You know, this soot acts like an insulation. So once I do this, I'll get a lot more percentage out of the heat from the fire. It's cold in there. The boiler's now, house is calling for heat and it ain't delivering any. This is the tool I made. It's tapered on this side real sharp. It's tapered on this so you push it through that tube and it scrapes that all down. So that's what I'm using. This is a bought one. Sometimes this one won't get it. You have to open it up to start with that one and then switch to that one. I have a brush, but I'm not worried about brushing it. I don't do that very often. So I gotta go turn down the heat in the house, so that pump's back there not running, doing relatively nothing. It's not energy efficient right now. So I'll see you guys back in a little bit. Bye bye. Well, this is kind of what it looks like when it's done. You can't see much, but it'll transfer a lot of heat. Then I'll just basically close the door. You got to turn this little thing that way. And then you start locking her down. And wiggle a little bit to make sure it seats right. If you can't hear me, that's why. I gotta fire this bad boy up because we're out of heat in the house. You just tighten it down, I'll vacuum all this up. I'll do all the cleanup and sweep up and put all that stuff back in. Put the vacuum cleaner, let me take this crazy noise thing off my head. Woo! That's a lot better. You can almost hear me now. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. So anyhow, we are down to 130. I don't know what we were when we started. A little after 5. So it takes about an hour because you got to set up and do that stuff, but it takes longer because of the video. That's not too bad. Temperature up there is nothing. And I'm sure I probably have a few sparks in there. I haven't lit it. Yeah, you can't see a whole lot in there. But I put the door up here like so, and I'll throw some wood in there. Hold the door open. Now, I don't recall what this temperature was when I first started. I think it was about 130 when I started. That's one thing about this thing. I carry all my reserve heat in rock, where a lot of those other places carry it in water. So I don't have very much water in here. So it'll heat up quick. So I'm going to get it going, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Well, I just switched over from kindling. You see I put a bunch of fresh wood in it. You can't tell there's not much fire in it. Now we'll turn on the blower and show you the difference. When it's got draft, it'll take off big time, like in a hurry. The flame will be rolling out the door in a minute. But that wood is still cold, so you can see the flames coming out the top now. We'll shut her down. And now you won't be able to see it. It's going to take a long time for that to come up. Yeah, you guys can't see it. It's not enough light. There it is a little bit. It'll start coming up, but it's taking all the heat out of that fire and putting it into the water right now. So we're already up to almost 150 there, and it's only been, what, a few minutes on just the kindling. So this thing will heat up quick. I'm gonna go out and get the mail, and by the time I get back, it'll probably be 180 or higher. I'll do another final update, final down date. Not sure what kind of date it is. I don't know if you can even see that clock. So I'm gonna go get the mail. We'll be back in a few minutes. Well, as soon as the camera goes on, right now it's dark in here, so I don't know whether you can see it. What was that? Oh, the house just cut off. Okay, the house heat now. We're up to 178, and it's now, I don't know if you can see that, about 5:30. Stack temperature up there is, I can't see what that is. It's about 380. And yeah, the door does smoke a little bit. I could re-insulate it, but it's a long story on that door. I don't really care. So anyhow, that's where we're at. I'm going in and eat dinner. And we can turn the house back on. Look at it. It's already up. Now it's up to 188 or 178. It don't take it long to get hot. So it's been, 15 minutes from pretty cold. So we'll see you later. Do me a favor. Hit the like button if you could see any of this stuff. And I did put all the stuff away. The vacuum cleaners go away. The vacuum cleaners away. The insulation back here, or the boards back there are back. And let's see, the vacuum cleaner, I guess I said I just put it away. It's tucked back there in the corner. And anyhow, I got to put the ladder away. Look at that thing. I might have to reseal it one of these days. If I turn the fan off, I'm pushing so much air into it. There, that knocked it down a little bit. If I turn the fan off, okay, then it won't do it. If I run natural draft, watch it, it'll shut right off. See, now it's sucking air in instead of blowing air out. But I blow a lot of air into that boiler. And I'll leave it natural draft now. It's already up to 182. I'll leave it natural draft because I got all that wood in there and it makes a whole big bed of coals. And even though you turn the fan off, it's sitting on top of, basically the boiler's sitting on top of a big heater. And I mean, it's big in there, so it could go over to heat. So if it goes over heat, I got somewhere up here, I don't know if that's the one that sends it to the dump zone. I think that's the one there that sends it to the dump zone. So whatever heats, it just sends it into the greenhouse, and that works pretty good. I keep my gloves out here on this pipe here because that's running 180. Keeps my hands nice and warm when I come out here at night. The only thing that I didn't do that I like to do is drop this. Yeah, I don't know if you can even see that cap. There's a cap there. I like to drop that cap and look up there. I got a mirror and you can see straight up through the stack. So that's it for boiler today. And that's it for boiler for hopefully the rest of this month, I'm sure. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.